Welcome back. Dr. Onanuju, you were running down a line of thought before we went on that break about some people who have become saints because they moved parties. The question would be, is this list true?
No, there is no list yet. The federal government, as you've seen, just threw up names. You will also look at that list to see that what they put there is not true. I saw the name of Mr. Dokwesi, who was actually paid for covering the sports festival. And so that you cannot call a loot. I saw the name of the PDP chairman who has now gone to court because he never did a thing. So what about all the people? Don't forget that the Rivers State government conducted a panel of inquiry in which they now documented the looting of the state by Governor Amechi. Governor Amechi, we know, is one of the principal funders of President Buhari's campaign. So what you actually have is a Buhari government that was installed with looted funds. And that's why he's not been able to convict a single human being in 3 years. Now we're asking, why is it that the anti-corruption campaign died? It died because any human being in Nigeria who is accused of corruption, all he needed to do, register and become a member of the APC, and the thing dies. And for most people who are accused of corruption, it's an easy thing to do than to actually go to court. That's why till today, they do not have a case against any Nigerian that is running and about to be convicted in a court of law. So what we are saying is, don't forget that all successful societies are actually built on the rule of law. Now, the rule of law says if a man is guilty, what do? You take him to court. If you take him to court, he's removed from sane society by a court of competent jurisdiction. So far, we've not seen that happen to any existing PDP member. All you have seen is everybody who is accused suddenly runs to the APC, and what happens? They are sent. There are some people, yes, who are in PDP, and I can confess this, who I believe may be guilty. But until they are charged to court, the government's list is just a joke. How come only list of 6 people? Is that a real list? That tells that the government is not sincere about its fight on corruption. What they have done is to use the anti-corruption game as rhetorics to actually embark on a membership recruitment drive. And that's why you see nothing is moving. After 3 years, point one single project that President Buhari has initiated and completed. Nothing. Instead, what we're having are state-managed arrangements of kidnapping of young school children. And you can see that only 28 children, they registered for the Zamfara, for the National Command Entrance, because of the loss, suddenly, of interest in education. This is what I think this government should do. Invest in a Marshall Plan for education if they are really serious about investing in Nigeria's future. But if children now think that they can loot and all they can get is when they are questioned, they will now cross over to a ruling party, that means you cannot solve the problem of corruption. I believe President Buhari's government is not sincere, is not serious about fighting corruption, because if they are sincere about fighting corruption, they will have gotten a single conviction 3 years after being in power. So
Thank you, Katch. Thank you. Thank you, Katch. Thank you, Katch. Let me come to you, Mr. Bamdele. Some people have said that in fighting this war against corruption, we must have a way of looking at those who appear to be spending way above their income. But EFCC says that it is not its duty to look at that unless somebody petitions it, it is not going to go and investigate anybody who seems to be spending way above their income.
You see, at the end of the day, everything still boils down to what I said earlier about our level of morality. Growing up as a child, I remember there used to be a jingle on radio that says, your child is not a dry cleaner and is coming home with strange clothes. Shouldn't you ask questions? As simple as it was, it registers certain things in us as small children. But I want to say to us that we have suddenly find ourselves in a style of life where everybody seems to be turning the eye to the other side. Now, EFCC says that is not my concern. People should petition. The next question will be, most of the previous petitions in that regard, what has happened to them? At the end of the day, until and unless we get to that point where it becomes so obvious that we are really serious about this matter of fighting corruption, it is still much ado about nothing as far as I'm concerned.